Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to the channel for a new video. And today we're going to be following up the last time that I checked out drum sets on the channel. So the idea is that we're actually going to create this into a series because the first video y'all really seem to like, and we have so many submissions that we can just do this for a few episodes at least and see if you guys still dig it, and then we can go from there. So the series we've titled Sit at My Set, and there's now a playlist on my channel. So if you want to catch up on episode 1, you can click through to my channel, scroll down to the playlist, and you can check out episode 1 and then come back and watch episode 2, and then next week episode 3 will be dropping and so forth. If you haven't submitted your drum set, make sure to go to the submissions link in the description down below. It's an email address. It's submissions@wyattstav.com. Just email us a picture of your drum set or a couple pictures if you'd like and some information about yourself, and we can include you in a future episode. Now, with all that said, Lindsay, who are we checking out first?
First up is a patron submission, and this one comes from Marc. He says, "Hi, my name is Marc Kevin. I'm 22 years old and I live in Skane, Sweden. Sorry if I'm not pronouncing that right. My biggest dream in life is to make a living playing music. This is my kit. I mostly play Meinl Byzance cymbals, and my shell pack is a Tama Imperial Star. It will soon be switched out with a DS drum shell pack, but it has served me well. You can see me playing on my channel, Marc K Drums. We'll of course link that below for you guys. A huge thanks to Wyatt for giving me inspiration and motivation."
Hell yeah, that's super cool. You're very welcome, Marc. Thanks for checking out my videos and thanks for submitting your kit. I'm really into the matching pedal combinations. So I always love when we get a top-down view where the hi-hat stand happens to match the slave pedal of the double kick, which is very cool. We have that going on here. I personally don't have matching, right? I have a Tama Road Pro hi-hat stand. I'm really due for an upgrade from that. And my pedals I swap in and out from the Trick Bigfoot and the Speed Cobras. And I guess a lot of people have asked me, sorry to take this away from your kit, but just for a second, I want to address this because I get this question so often. A lot of people ask me, like, which pedal am I using? Which is my pedal? Well, I use both. I have both at my kits. I have my Trick Bigfoot typically is at my acoustic, but I do a lot of my practicing at my electric, and usually I use the Speed Cobra at the electric because the Trick Bigfoot doesn't fit onto the electric. So depending on the song that I'm performing or working on, or even in the case of my session work, sometimes I just switch to whichever pedal feels better. For the faster, straighter stuff, usually I'm on the Trick Bigfoot because it works really well with fast, straight, sort of simple grooves that we just need a lot of speed in. And then for more groovy stuff, when I'm doing like scuff techniques and I'm trying to manage my pressure points on the pedal, I usually turn to the Speed Cobras for those situations. Getting back to your kit, outside of the pedals, your cymbal setup is absolutely gorgeous. And I love Tama's stuff. I love the Tama Imperial Star series. I also love the Tama Superstar Hyperdrive series, which we've covered in the first video and is my go-to for recommending for new players. But the Imperial Star is a little bit nicer version of that. You've got looks like Evans EC2 heads. Those are my go-to heads as well for the toms. The only thing that stands out with the cymbal setup a little kind of strange to me, I think it might just more so be the angle with this kit, is that the position of the right hi-hat where it's kind of squeezed in between the crash, looks like a 19-inch medium thin Byzance above, and then we've got that polyphonic ride below. With that hi-hat kind of squeezed in there, it looks a little weird with the above angle, but still a very cool looking kit. And of course, I've seen the rest of your studio. Your studio is really gorgeous looking. It's small, but the lights that Marc has set up are really cool. So I definitely recommend go check out some of his covers down below in the description. We'll have a link to his information as well as his YouTube link there because we checked out the kit here in this episode.
Next submission is from someone named Morris. He says, "Hey, my name is Morris. I'm 16 years old from Perth, Australia. I've been drumming for about 4 years and have just recently bought this new Mapex kit. It cost me $1,000 plus $500 for the new hi-hats I just put on it. Hope you like it. Huge fan. Thank you."
Thank you, Morris, for the submission, man. I appreciate it. We'll have Morris's info down below as well. Okay, cool. Let's take a look here. So we've got a big rack on this kit. 3 rack toms, 2 floor toms. I'm curious, did he include the sizes by chance, Lindsay?
He didn't include the sizes.
Okay, so looking at this, I would say these are... the trick here when judging the sizes for me is always look to the floor tom, the first floor tom. Always look to that because sometimes that's going to be a 14-inch, right? The typical floor tom sizes are going to be 14 and 16 and 18. 18 is kind of rare, but typically you're going to see a 14. In a 2-tom config like this, you're going to typically see a 14 and a 16 on the floor. So I'm looking at this floor tom and it looks like it's about the same as the snare drum, and the snare drum probably is 14 because that's another common size for snare drums. So I'm going to guess that the rack toms are going to be 8, 10, 12, 14, and 16. The 3 racks are 8, 10, 12, and then 14 and 16 on the floor toms. You've got a mix of cymbals. You got a hybrid set.
I have a question. If the floor toms aren't on the floor and they are literally on a rack, aren't they no longer floor toms?
So that's a great question, Lindsay. Yes, I guess technically you could say that, but the mounting is not like how you mount the drum or set the drum up doesn't change the name of the drum. The drum is more so just, I guess it's more the size. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't just because you put a 12-inch drum on a kick pedal doesn't make that 12-inch drum a kick drum. You know what I mean?
Right.
But I guess it could in the case of cocktail kits. So this is tough. you know, the naming with all musical instruments and with drums as well is more so just to give us a reference, you know. So when I look at this kit, I can describe the floor toms as being floor toms that everybody knows that those are the floor toms. So that's the case in this, right? This would be called a 3 up, 2 down kit where you have 3 racks and 2 floors. And it's just because they are in the position of where floor toms would be. They're the size of floor toms. They have everything in common with what a regular floor tom would be, except he chose to not mount it with floor tom legs. He chose to mount it off of his rack like that. So yeah, that's actually a really great question though, because it is technically mounted on a rack. So that could, I guess you could technically say he's got a bunch of rack toms. That's the best answer I can give you on that, Lindsay.
Next patron submission is from David. And David just says, hell yeah.
Cool. So huge shout out to David. David's been not only one of my drum students, but he's been a patron for a while now. Thank you for all the support, David. And I absolutely love your kit. I mean, this is something that on my Discord server, a lot of the guys in our musician tips and tricks channel have talked about, especially when he started dropping these images when he first got this kit, because this is a newer purchase for you, I believe, right? In the last couple months. So very, very cool. We've got some absolutely gorgeous cymbals. I know that you have, and of course I can see clear as day here, you've got a full set of the classic custom dark by Meinl. You've got the 15-inch dual hats, which is super cool. You've got the 22-inch heavy hammered ride, which you and I talked about. I actually recommended that ride cymbal. It's my go-to ride cymbal as well. When I do have a ride cymbal, like a traditional, you know, ping, or like, I guess when I'm looking for that stick articulation type ride cymbal, not the crash rides that I usually have in the center. Ding, ding, ding. I don't know why I made that sound, but you get the idea. Above the ride too, you've got the Matt Halpern signature series fat stack. That cymbal is super sick. I've played that a couple of times. Last time I was in LA, I was with my buddy Taylor, and he has it on his kit as well. He had just gotten it as a birthday gift when I was down there, and I got to play around with it. And the thing I like about it is, of all the stacks that I've tried, of all the cymbal combinations that I've tried and seen, this one I think I like the best because of how changing the tension on the felt, on the cymbal clamp, changing that tension makes such a big difference to the tone of this cymbal. It really dramatically affects how much resonance you're going to get out of it, and it makes for a completely different feel when you're playing it based on how much you tighten it. So there's a lot of versatility out of that fat stack. It's really a really great stack.
Next email submission is from someone named Moe, and he says, hey Wyatt, saw your post on sending pics of our drum kits for you to rate and react to. As you just switched to DW, I thought you might enjoy this one. DW Collector's Graphics in brackets 2005, blue tribal flames airbrush finish. He's got all his sizes here. The snare is a Benny Greb. Sorry, that's a hard name for some reason. Benny Greb brass signature snare. And then he's got Sabine HHX. He's got DW9000 hardware, a bunch of other stuff if you need to know. Started playing at age 5, mostly rock stuff, some Real Big Fish ska style in a cover band. I've started to do some drum videos just for fun and keeping myself busy. I'm lucky enough to be an audio engineer and to have my own small recording studio at home where I can do all the audio and video recording and editing. The photos are screen grabs from my latest cover of Silverstein's Burn It Down. He's got a link. I'll put that in the description for you guys. And hope you like it. All the best from Germany.
Mo, Jude, thank you so much for sending in this kit. I love it. It absolutely looks phenomenal in your studio with the lighting. I've been looking at a lot of these kits come in, and the lighting has been really impressing me with what some of you guys do. And you know what? It's lately been really making me rethink how I light my own set. I have a completely black room with white lights, and it's like, I don't know, I kind of want to take the foam off the floor and see how much of a more noise I'm giving off out of the house, because I have the foam on the floor right now for dampening so that I don't disturb the neighbors. I kind of want to take the foam off the floor to have the wood floor, because I have real hardwood underneath the foam. I kind of want to take that off, have the real hardwood, and then add some colored lights to that space. I feel like it'll make the space pop a little bit more, especially with seeing all of your guys' really great lighting tricks that you do to bring your kits to life. This one looks fantastic. The pyramid foam you have on the wall, I have the same foam in my studio, and I know just how expensive that foam can be. So it's very cool that to see how much you've sort of committed to this project, to your studio, and to your setup. Very cool, man. The Benny Greb signature snare, that's a sonar snare, 13 by 5, right? 13 by 5.5.
He says in the email it's 13 by 5.
Okay, 13 by 5. I love 13-inch snares, right? My last my Crush kit had a 13 by 7, and it was a great snare. 13-inch snares are sick. I just talked to Adam Tuminaro, and he plays a 12-inch snare, which blew my mind as well. So I don't know, very cool.
I love the blue flames.
I know, right? The flames are neat.
It's so unique. Yeah, it looks really cool. And then he obviously coordinated that with the blue lighting. So I don't know, from a design point of view, I can appreciate it. Next up is our patron Rod. Okay, he says, there it go, Rod here, playing from Las Vegas, born in Brazil. Description of the kit in the link. And he's got every little piece listed out if you would like to know.
I'm good. I can look at this and eyeball most of it. But one thing I know about Rod that blew my mind was that he plays the, who's the drummer? Chris
Chris Adler.
Chris Adler, thank you.
I have the links open.
You have the links open, right. He plays the Chris Adler signature snare, which is a really, really great Mapex snare. It's got a really, really unique tone to it. I think the big reason why is just because it is a 12x5. So this is 2 kits in a row that we've looked at with smaller snares. And yeah, I'm definitely a fan of smaller snares. They crack, they cut for sure. There's a reason why Chris Adler, the drummer of Lamb of God, has his signature snare at those dimensions. Pretty cool, right? But yeah, man, very, very cool setup. You've got the special edition. I think they're called Black Widow. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they're the Black Widow trick pedals, the Trick Bigfoot Black Widows. They're the purple or reddish, blackish pedals that you've got on the kit, which are neat. I wanted to get those when I went for my pedals, but for the extra money, I decided not to. And also they were sold out at the time, so I didn't really even have the option. But I did look into it because I like black as well. I'm big into black.
Yeah, they look really cool.
They do, right? Something that strikes me about this kit too is like the contrast in the cymbal lines is very apparent. We have extremely low budget, like it's the lowest line of Meinl on that hi-hat. But then you have the Matt Garska signature China, which is, I think it's like a $500 or $450 China. So it's really kind of funny to see how like clearly you've started to upgrade from the older cymbals that you had, and that's very apparent, right? We've got 3 Byzance cymbals at the kit. We've got the 16-inch Byzance Dark China, which I have as well. I love that cymbal. We've got the Matt Garska signature series Equilibrium China sandblasted, which is a 20-inch China. It's vented as well. I've had a few of those. I don't have one currently at the kit, but I've done a lot of covers with it. And then we have the 10-inch dual splash off to the left, which is the same splash cymbal I have, and I use it in the same position. And I'm not as familiar with the Sabian and Zildjian lines, although of course I do know Zildjian A Custom, which are just great cymbals overall. I mean, so versatile, so great for stage. But yeah, man, thank you for the submission. I appreciate it. Oh, I didn't even notice this, but you have a side snare off to the right. I thought that was another floor tom. That's cool. It looks like we got a 14-inch snare. It looks very shallow too. Looks like a 14x5 or something, maybe even shallower. Very neat. Thank you for the submission, and I will see you later on today in our drum lesson. So see you there, dude.
Okay, next one I chose because it's literally so interesting to me. It's so matchy and it's so big and it's crazy. This is from someone named Frank. He says, "Hey Wyatt, been following your channel for a while. Great stuff and love your drum covers. I play in a band called Sinshine." Oh, it says Sunshine. Sinshine. We have a Facebook page here. I'll put that link in the description, of course. Here's my kit, does the job well. It's a PDP 805 kit. He's got all the sizes listed. He's got Yamaha DTX Multi-12 drum pad. I guess that's a sample pad, right? A PDP 18-inch floor tom converted to hold and carry drum pad, an 8-channel mixer for my mixing drum / in-ear monitor system. All Sabian cymbals, he's got them all listed out. Gibraltar hardware and stands. Rack tom on Tama snare stand. Pearl remote hi-hat stand, Pearl throne, DW5000 bass pedals. I think I covered it all. LOL. Thank you.
Very cool, dude. I like this kit a lot. It reminds me a lot of the kit that Anup Sastry used to play. He had a very similar color scheme on some of his early drum covers. So really cool to see this color scheme, the red hardware with the black. I like that you even accented your rug with red tape. You made sure that when you went down to the rug, you had the red electrical to match the hardware. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. Your cymbals are all low. You have a very low cymbal setup, huh? But yeah, very cool, dude.
It's neat that he just uses that floor tom purely for the purpose of holding his sample pad.
Yeah, that's funny. What size is that floor tom?
18-inch floor tom.
That's an 18-inch off to the left?
Yes.
That's strange. It looks like it's smaller than the one that he has to the right, and the one that he has to the right I would have said was 18.
He has one. Yeah, he has an 18 to the right as well.
Oh, he has 2 18s.
Yeah, he's got. Yeah, well, the ones on the right he actually uses. So he's got a 16 and an 18 on the right.
And then an 18 on the left as well?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That's
Maybe it's just
cool.
the photo.
What's the pedal off to the left of the hi-hat stand? Is that for like the sample pad? I guess that's like an aux pedal to trigger the sample pad. That's cool. I would do that 100%. I have a sample pad now at my kit, which I just unboxed recently, as you guys know. On the screen for you, you can see the thumbnail there. And I just unboxed that Alesis sample pad. And I have Roland foot pedals from old Roland kits. I'm going to hook one of those up as an external trigger to that pad and see what I can do with maybe like bass drops and stuff. That'd be pretty cool to have just like a bass drop in my ear for like coming in on big China hits or big cymbal hits or something like that. So yeah, very neat, especially for live application. That kind of stuff is always so much fun. Really just does to extend the kit, right? Extend the possibilities. You can add any sample to that left foot now. So that's pretty cool. Hell yeah. Thank you for the submission, Frank.
Okay, next Patreon submission is from Jacob. He says, same drums since I was 12 years old, but with upgraded cymbals and recently upgraded today, Tama Speed Cobra pedals. Oh, and I'm Jacob from Tennessee.
I just taught Jacob yesterday. We had a great lesson. I hope you're doing well, and your kit looks fantastic. I like the angle on this shot from above. What's it talk about out here. Just a great looking solid setup, right? We've got the Vic Verth. Those look like the Vic Verth ISO headphones, the ones that I rock. Strongly recommend those. All the gear that I've been recommending, along with all the gear that I use, you can find links to in the description down below. So if you want to click through to any of that and pick any of that up, if you use my affiliate links, you'll be supporting the channel as well as picking up some of the gear that I recommend for you guys. So you can find that as always in every video down in the description below. We got Zildjian 8 Customs at the kit. I'm curious what the ride symbol is. Okay, so have you guys, I've never owned a symbol long enough for the branding to fade. How many, you guys let me know, how many of you guys at home have symbols where the branding has faded, and what symbols are they? What symbols actually have been around long enough that you haven't cracked that the branding's faded to where the point we have this ride symbol at in this picture? I'm curious to hear. I've never gotten a symbol to that point, but I only have owned one ride symbol, and I don't use it enough, I think, to actually like wear the branding off. And ride symbols are like the one safe symbol, right? Like when you get a ride symbol, it's so rare to ever crack one. Thank you for the submission, Jacob. I appreciate it.
Next one is a dope one from someone named Amigo. He says, "Hi Wyatt, I'm Amigo Chan, a drum nerd who comes from Hong Kong. I saw your YouTube video and want to ask if you can check out my drum set," which we are. So yes, Amigo, we can. "Here's my drum kit. I love Pearl and Zildjian, the Tama Iron Cobra 900 Power Glide double bass drum pedal also. Haha." So I think like he means that you guys are twinsies on the kick pedals, but that's not the same one as you, is it?
Yeah, no, I don't use the Iron Cobras. I use the 910 Speed Cobras, but they're almost the same pedal. I think the only real difference in those two pedals is going to be the fact that the Speed Cobra is a longboard pedal, and there's a little bit, I think the angle of how they have the dual chains set up on the Speed Cobras, the angle of the way that the beater or the foot plate pulls that chain down, I think is a little bit different, and it's specific to the Speed Cobra, but those are the only real two differences, I think. For sure, obviously, the first difference that I mentioned there is definite, and that one I can confirm that I have a longer footboard than you. But that's all that really is. And as far as the Iron Cobras go, those are the go-to pedal. Guys, at home, if any of you don't have a double kick and you're looking to get your first double kick and you can afford Tama Iron Cobra pedals, I strongly recommend that as anybody's first double pedal. It's a cheaper, relatively more affordable pedal. I don't want to say cheaper because it's not a poor quality by any standard. It's probably one of the best go-to pedals for every player all around. It's like the most rock solid, long-term, no bells and whistles, but gets the job done double kick pedal you can find on the market. So I strongly recommend it. There's so many pro players that still play that pedal. Gabe Helguera being one of them. So yeah, very cool pedal.
Right, so almost twinsies. Continuing Amigo's message, he says, "My favorite symbol is Zildjian Mega Bell, which is my very first symbol. Here's my Instagram drum page. I'll of course put that down below. Love your drumming in video and looking forward to your reply. Keep it up, bro. One of these guys. Stay safe and stay tuned."
Cool. So we got the K Custom crashes. We got the Zildjian Mega Bell, which is that fat bell ride symbol off to the right. I can see why that would be one of your favorites. I need a Mega Bell symbol. Like I need, like not the Zildjian Mega Bell, maybe the Zildjian Mega Bell. I don't know. I want a symbol with a huge bell. I have the Meinl Heavy Hammered 22-inch, but I want one with a massive fat bell like that, where it's like half the symbol. Meinl makes the classic customs ride with a really thick, heavy bell in it. I might get that one. I might pick that up at some point. Yeah, and then we got it looks like a 20-inch Oriental Zildjian China. That's the go-to symbol for so many players. That is the Matt Greiner China, right? Every single August Burns Red record has been with that Oriental China, and it's like the August Burns Red tone sound, right? You can hear it on any record and be like, that's an Oriental China, 100%. So that's very cool. K-Custom hammered hi-hats, and I'm just saying that I don't really know the K-Custom line very well, but I'm just saying that because you can clearly see the hammered markings on it. It's not a standard lathe. This kit, I think, is the same kit that Seth Drums just unboxed on his channel. Well, no, he didn't just unbox it. He unboxed a Tom, and he's going to be unboxing the rest of the kit live on Twitch soon. So shout out to Seth. But yeah, congrats on the new kits for Seth. And thank you to Amico for this submission. But Lindsay, I think you had something to add to this.
Yeah, I love the look of these clear acrylic kits. I think they look so dope. It reminds me of like inflatable furniture, but in the best way. I mean that. And I think like having clear heads on it too is just like, you have to. It looks like the ghost of a drum set.
I'm glad you like these kits, Lindsay, because I'm pretty close to pulling the trigger on getting one of the DW acrylics. They're very affordable DW kits. Like it's very affordable for that DW acrylic. It's I think they're below the performance series. There's one series below performance, and performance is like their middle of the line, I believe. I think that's how it goes, right? There's like something, then performance, then collectors, something along those lines. I think that's how their series actually work. But I think I'm gonna pull the trigger and get a DW acrylic because I love the acrylic kits, and I've been ranting and raving every time somebody submits an acrylic kit. There's so much good to acrylic. If you know how to make it sing, if you know how to make it sound good, it definitely doesn't sound like wood. But that's what's cool about it. You get this new, different tone, and you can play it like a wood kit, which is cool, right? Then on top of that, the thing about the acrylics that I like the most is that talk about a great music video or tour kit. Like if you get an opportunity to go out for a music video with a band, or you get hit with some stage time, you get to go on the road, acrylic's the way to go because it's not going to age like your wood kit. Don't take your studio collector's beautiful whatever you got at home kit on the road with you if you have an acrylic with you, or if you can get an acrylic, or if you're in a position where you can get access to one, because the acrylic kit is not going to flex and warp and change based on the weather, like taking it inside to an AC environment from the heat, or being in a cold environment and going inside to warm, that's not going to affect the kit at all. So that's all really, really cool. Those are all big pluses for acrylic. And I talked about this, I think, in the last video when Anthony submitted his acrylic kit.
All right, last submission that we're going to do for today from the emails is from someone named Sam. And he says, Wyatt, I love your videos. You and your girl are awesome. Appreciate it. Thank you. Here's my work in progress. Acoustic to electric conversion. Tama Imperial Star with UFO drums triggers and drum tech real feel heads. Custom Gibraltar rack I made with hidden wires that easily remove for acoustic setup. Cow patty cowbell? Cow patty cowbell? Is that a real thing?
I've never heard of the brand.
Cow patty, my God. Tama booms and mounts, DW pedals with a 9000 right hand hi-hat on the way. Roland TD50 and TD20 modules with V expression sounds in both. Cymbals and mostly Roland, but I ordered field cymbals 3 months ago. If they ever get here, the kit will be epic. Hope you like it. Stay safe and keep rocking.
Dude, this is one hell of a kit to end on today, Lindsay. My God, look at this thing.
I did it on purpose.
This is a beast of a kit, man. I can't even begin to think about the money invested in this. Not only do we have a gorgeous rack kit, like let's just talk about the acoustics first. We have a gorgeous rack around a gorgeous looking kit with gorgeous hardware, DW9000 in a lot of places, including the kick pedal. Just looks like a great kit. But then he's taken it to the extra level and went and got so I'm not familiar with how these heads work. Correct me if I'm wrong, but these are triggered heads. Is that the idea? The heads are low noise and then they have the trigger built into it. If that's the case, very, very cool. And then we've got two unbelievably expensive, phenomenal brains. The TD20, is it 20 or 25?
20.
The TD20 brain and the TD50 brain to actually be able to trigger all of these triggers. So we needed 2 modules because of how many inputs you needed, which is crazy, man. So cool. We got Roland cymbals around the kit. And then we've got these 2, I'm not sure what these are off to the right and left, but they're pretty cool looking, like China looking inverted type low noise things. Looks like low noise cymbals. I also like that you mentioned that the wires are hidden easily. So you have them hidden in the rack that lead to the brains. That's really cool too, because cable management in these kits can get pretty sloppy and messy if you don't take the time with it. So the fact that you can't even see most of the wires on this for these cymbals and for these triggers, very, very sick. This is one dope ass kit, man. I can't even imagine the money put into this, but congratulations on such a great build. It's very unique too, a really unique setup. So
it is. It's
very cool kit to end on. All right. So yeah, with all that said, thank you for that kit, Sam. Thank you to everybody, all of my patrons who submitted and all of the people who have been submitting over emails. If you're one of my patrons, there is a channel available to you on our Discord server. It's content submissions. You can submit your drum set there and we can review it in a future episode of Sit at My Set. All patron submissions will be reviewed in time. I cannot guarantee that for all the email submissions just because of the quantity. We're up to 1,000 so far and we've only done 2 episodes. So I'm going to work through getting through as many as possible. And I encourage you guys, if you want for future videos to submit more, you can at the submissions email, submissions@wyattstav.com. But I cannot guarantee that all that will be submitted will be reviewed. In time, we'll get through most of them though. In time, right? We got a lot lined up for a lot of future episodes. And I can't imagine that they just keep coming in. So eventually we're going to run out of people that have drum sets. So we're going to keep going with these. I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. If you did, make sure to let me know by hitting the like button. Make sure to drop some comments down below and let me know that you want to see more of these. And as long as you guys keep watching, we'll keep making them. Lastly, I want to close out by mentioning that my latest new endeavor in my life is Twitch. I've been streaming live on Twitch for the last week and I'm going to continue to do so pretty much every day. So yeah, if you want to come hang out over there, definitely drop down to the description below where you can find all my social medias that you can connect with me at, including my Twitch link now. You can go down there, leave me a follow, and you will know when I go live on Twitch. With all that said, guys, you can support this channel on Patreon and a merch link down in the description below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and I will see you all very soon with something new.